Welcome back to the morning show. And boy, that's zoomed in tight.
Well, good. That one's snug.
How are you today? It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. How are you, sir?
Good, good.
We're a little tight. Don't look at the camera. It'll freak you out.
I'll change it. Sorry, guys.
You're fine. Don't change it. It's
Gosh,
good.
I'm mad.
Teach Scooter to take off. He's dying.
I know.
Right now.
How was Turkey Trot?
Turkey Trot was great. We talked to a lot of people. We talked to just being there, you know, and a lot of tourists that come through. They come through for Turkey Trot. They come in, and to see when you talk to them, they're like, "Oh, I heard about this," and it's like, "Well, this is small town America."
I was just going to
That's
say.
really
it's a
what
piece
it
of
is. This is
Americana.
small town America. This, you know, they get the different booths and the vendors, and not everybody could make it down to Little Rock for the state fair. So you come for this. It's not quite the county fair, but it's in a lot of ways it's better. They get a great turnout for people. They get a great great food. The different acts, to seeing the little kids doing the lip syncing and stuff like that up on the stage.
You know,
and-
they call it Turkey Trot,
right.
but I really believe it's the Marion County Homecoming.
That's very good.
Like,
Yep.
because that's what we'll just see next year at Homecoming.
Yeah.
It's just the Marion County families.
Yeah, I mean, all the hotels and everything are full over there. There's people that come from all over because they come once a year for that event, and they have a good time. They quit dropping the turkeys. They got a guy with a drone, and he drops little stuffed.
It's just not the same.
I understand that, but you know what? You do what you got to do. You want to keep things going. You don't have maybe not as much tradition, but it's still the tradition of Turkey Trot. And I talk like I've been there forever, but although I have been there for about the past 12, 13 years, we've had a tent set up there. I remember turkeys coming down, and they fly just fine. And you're seeing the kids walking through the main street there, holding the turkeys in their arms, and the turkeys kicking. That was cool.
Wobble,
That
wobble,
was
wobble.
cool. Oh yeah, that was cool. But so now they drop a little stuffed turkey, and it's got you get a gift certificate for different things, and that's nice too.
Well attended this year?
Yeah, it was. The parade was really crowded. A lot of floats, a lot of fire trucks, a lot of bands, a lot of marching groups, horses, all the things that you want.
And of course, fire trucks.
Fire trucks, gotta have fire trucks. I didn't realize how many fire departments there are. Tons of candy for the kids, and that's really what it's fun. It's supposed to be a fun event, and it was. Bands were really good. The music was outstanding this year.
If somebody out there has never experienced that, it'll be back next year. And
It'll
you
be
just
back
need to
the
plan on being there.
second weekend of October.
Second Saturday,
Yep.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday,
in
Saturday.
October.
Yeah, Saturday's the parade, and the rest of the events that go on, and it's very cool. Very cool.
They will open their eyes and see how the rest of the world once was,
Yeah.
and how it could be again if they would just make some changes.
I don't know that we can ever go back that far, but I think that just even if we can just slow down the progression a little bit, that'd be okay.
Where I'm from up north, they used to do this time of the year. They would do Halloween night would be the burning of the witch.
Ah, yes.
And the local Lions Club would go out and gather all these cardboard boxes and pallets and wood pieces, and they'd bring it to the baseball field at the high school or at one of the schools, and they'd build this big witch's head out of paper mache and drape it, and it just looked like a huge witch. Well, the city that we lived in recommended, didn't require it, recommended that at a certain time of the evening when it started getting late, like 7 o'clock because it's already dark, everybody go to that field. And all the kids in costumes would walk around this witch's head, and they'd light it on fire, and that would be the end of it. And there'd be a group of judges from the local Lions Club, and they'd pull out costume winners. That got all the kids off the street at a safe time of the night.
Yeah.
They knew everybody was. The parents were there, took them home. Just a great time.
Cool.
Old time USA.
Yeah.
Turkey Trot, old time
Oh, yeah,
USA.
yeah. It's nice. And we just, it's just a fun event. You know, I've been there freezing. I've been there dying in heat. It was a little warm, but nothing, you know. They were predicting, you know, like in the 90s and stuff, but the humidity was like 12.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad day at all.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah, it was. It was like being in Phoenix. But it was a great event. Last night's event at the school for the honors. It's the first time I'd ever gone there.
Mountain Home Education Foundation honors last night.
I was there with the chamber that was recognized, and really a great event. People that I didn't know, maybe I had heard their name here and there, somebody referred to somebody, and to see the recognition that these teachers and the people that educate the children here, the recognition that they get, it's well deserved, and just great backstories of the educators here in town and what they can do and things that they've done, and very good. It was just a great event. Letty's did the catering. It was very good, and
There's folks sitting at home or sitting in a hotel room going, I'm watching this for This Week in Real Estate. Why are these guys talking about all this stuff? Because this stuff
is the
what
reason
makes
that you
our
come
world
here.
go
Exactly. That's the reason that people come here. I was with a couple that was across the table from me. They're from, they've been around. They were originally from southern Missouri, and traveled around, and they came back here, and he was fortunate enough to get a job in his kind of a unique trade set, but he was able to find a job here, and to come here, and I told them, and as I tell you guys all the time, you can buy 3 bedrooms, 2 baths anywhere, but you can't buy what we have here anyplace else.
unless you're here.
Unless you're here. And there's a great turnout in the Carolinas and in Tennessee where they've been decimated by the floods and stuff. And it would be, the turnout of the people there is what they're in small town America too. They're in small communities. And it was the same when the tornado hit Gasville. They came on the radio and they said, we need some chainsaws. It wasn't 10 minutes later, it was like, stop. There's enough. The roads were all backed up with people trying to come out to help and trying to coordinate those things. That's what small town America is. You're not sitting in the house saying, somebody better do something for me. Somebody better come and help me out here. People are out there helping themselves and helping their neighbors already.
Okay, I see you got a tree down. What's next?
Yeah. And that's why things like Turkey Trot and the Night of Honors for the educators here and the school system that we have here is just so important to the area. It affects everything that we do. The school affects the whole community because it brings people who want to help, who want to live here and have good work here. They need to know that they got someplace good for their kids to go to school. Mm-hmm. And we have quality education here, and we do. And even if you don't have kids in school, and you say, what am I paying all this taxes for? Which taxes are nothing if you've lived anyplace else. But why am I paying all these taxes? That's your quality of life. You don't see the kids hanging on the corner. You don't see the graffiti. We don't have shootings. We don't have things that you get in bigger places. Just don't have them here. Thank you. And that's well, like I say, we sell quality of life.
2 lakes, 3 rivers,
Yep.
fishing, hunting.
Anything you want. Bike. There's a huge bike deal going in Bull Shoals that they're trying to run that trail actually all the way across the state. They're doing a great job over there. Jack Fortner has done a great job with the state tourism department, and they're putting in a huge trail system that's going through. They're bringing in some world-class deal. I was listening to it, but I didn't hear the whole thing. That's going to be over there in Bull Shoals, and it's naturally through the parks and through the state lands. Mm-hmm. Things like that you don't think of, but we have here. There's a great walking trails and everything else.
How's the real estate world today?
Real estate world is slowed. You get this close to the election, things have slowed down, and rates have gone up some. The rates have jumped a little bit. It really depends on where you look as far as what they are, but local banks, stay off the internet. I preach that all the time. It's still true. Local banks the mortgage companies that can take and help you out. That's the important thing.
What you got?
Pre-approval is still the number one thing.
What's your paper there?
This year, this one now we don't have time. We don't. I can read that, and I don't want him getting mad at me. This week in real estate, there were 28 new listings came on the market, 4 commercial properties, 7 parcels of land, 16 homes came on the market. They range in price from $99,000 to $550,000. There were 38 sales this week, 2 commercial properties, 9 parcels of land, 27 homes sold. They range in price from $79,000 to $500,000. The average sale price this week was $251,000. The average listed price when they came on was $263,000. So the gap's starting to get a little bigger. With 96 days on market, 9 properties expired. There were 19 residential price changes. Currently, we have 370 homes listed on the MLS. Year to date for 2024, there's been 863 homes have sold. The average sale price this year is $243,000. I don't know what happened to my days on market. This thing is goofed up. Last year, there had been 876 homes that sold, with an average sale price of $228,000. This year, the time on market's about 96 days on market, and last year it was around 87.
How many listings did you say there were?
Right now, we're up to 370.
That's high.
That's high, yeah. One time we were at 70.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's quite a bit. We've been out in a couple interviews with people, and it's, things have it's the presidential election. You can see it every 4 years. It drops. And it just, people, you see these commercials on the drumbeat, the constant drumbeat, it affects people.
What is the hottest price slot for homes right now?
Well, 250 in that range in there. That's the old 180 to, 2.25. Prices have gone up. A big part of it's inflation. You don't realize how much inflation affects all of that. And they have, it's with the interest rates, it's harder to get that 2021 money for a house when the rates have basically doubled.
Yeah, we've talked viability, and you don't have it anymore.
Right. And I feel the kids and rents are still real high. There's a shortage of rents. It's hard to get people. We'll just rent for a while.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, and you can't rent. Nobody's going to rent you something for month to month. If it is, you're not going to want to live in it. It's a different type of environment. People, they know what they think they know what they want, but the actuality of being able to get that isn't always as easy as we would like it to be.
Still taking listings?
Oh yeah. I got signs in my yard. In fact, I went to Anvil. If you need any kind of metal work done, you don't have any metal sponsors, right?
No.
Okay. Go to Anvil. Well, I want to make sure. Anvil over on 126 there. They actually started off as a spin-off at the high school. It was an apprentice, and then they started an apprentice program, and they were talking about it last night. But I had them make me new frames for the sign, because try to beat a sign into the ground with this weather. It's like concrete. So they made me 1-inch square solid steel beams. Anyway, they're in my garage. They're in my front lawn right now.
They need to
over
be in
by the
somebody
barn. They need to be in your front lawn. They don't last very long. I'll tell you that. They don't stay up there very long, but they're not doing me any good being at my place. So call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. The website's retiredarkansas.net. You see that every morning on the weather here. Proud sponsors of the Bombers. We're going to call out Go Bombers. You'll see our commercials on there. The number of people that stop me and say, I see your commercials. That's when you see me, tell me. I see your commercials. I hear your commercials.
And not just you, but all the sponsors.
And all the sponsors, right. Because we need to know, all of us that sponsor things, whatever it may be, need to know that you're paying attention, that that's money well spent. That's not just, Gil's a nice guy. He ain't that nice of a guy that he just lets me run those commercials just because, you pay for these things.
Thanks, Bob.
So, well, the other sponsors know that too. That's all a big part of the deal. You got to make money to spend money. That's what we try to do. But give my honey a call, 870-405-0793.
This has been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. 870-405-0793 is the number. retiredarkansas.net is our website. It's Football Friday. We'll be back. Coach Steve Airy, Coach Steve Crow, Craig Crow in just a moment.